Zale, do you have any hobbies? For example, what do you like to do on weekends?
On weekends, I skin dive, Groucho.
How far down can you dive with this rig?
With the Aqualung, I dove to 209 feet.
Isn't that getting in pretty deep for a young girl like you?
Yes, it is, Groucho. It's the women's world's record.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Evelyn Bartram, am a scuba diver. My partner and I dove down to the wreck of the sunken luxury liner Andrea Dory. I am the first girl ever to reach the ship since she went down in a collision off the coast of New England almost 12 years ago.
Can we shake that manipulator arm a little bit more? Let's try that.
I'm all alone in this big world. I remember Mama used to tell me if I believe and put my soul in it, I could do almost anything.
Should care about the ocean as if our lives depend on it. Because they do.
When I first heard about the Women Divers Hall of Fame and that Hilary Bitters had conceived this idea and managed to execute it, I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And when I was notified that I was part of the founding year, I said, really? Really?
Zig is this was his brainchild. He wanted something spectacular for 2000, and he decided to honor women, which was kind of really cool, where there's Hall of Fames and most of those people are men, and then he wanted us to have this.
I'm always looking to ways on how to give recognition to anybody and everybody who deserves it. I said, well, look, we're going into a new century, so let's give some recognition to the person of the century. So I called in and talked to Hilary Bitters, who's the president of Academy of Underwater Arts and Sciences at that time, and she has a lot of experience in there, so we started discussing it, and so we decided to let's do something about women.
And so Zig approached me and he said, we're coming to the millennium. I know you know a lot about women in diving. I'd like you to maybe talk to experts in the field. I said, I can tell you right now, I know a few dozen. So I found myself talking to Patty Mortera and Carol Rose and Jennifer King.
He called Hilary Bitters, he called Carol Rose, and Kathy Wadig and Patty Mortera. And he called me. We basically tried to think of everybody we could in the diving industry that was, qualified. And we had about 70 members, maybe the first year. And of course, we forgot a lot of people. So then we started getting the phone calls, what about so-and-so, what about so-and-so? We said, oh yeah, we have to do this again. And then all of us got together and said, well, maybe we should make this a permanent deal.
When I first learned in 2000 that I'd been selected for the Women Divers Hall of Fame, it was just an honorary society. But there was this powerful, dedicated, committed group of women who said, okay, now we have an organization, what are we going to do with it?
All my male dive friends were like, oh, it's the girls club. And that just, of course, made me crazy. So from that, by saying that we need to make a difference, and that's where the scholarships came in, because I said we're going to step this out so it's not about us, it's about us mentoring other people coming in.
And the way I like to tell it is after 100 women got together, we said we can do our own thing. So we incorporated and we became a charitable organization, and we said let's give back to the sport that we love And so they started a scholarship and training grant program.
And everybody in it really wanted to encourage, enhance, enable anything we could do to create the female force in diving that we are now. And the scholarships was obviously the way to go.
For me, the best thing about the Women Divers Hall of Fame is the scholarships and the encouragement of young people to further their education and their training in an associated field.
Right here on Earth, our last frontier are the oceans, and right now we're doing tremendous destruction to those oceans. So the more people we can support to get into the career and really start solving these problems, the better it is.
Well, the Women Divers Hall of Fame basically gathers together twice a year, and at the Beneath the Sea event, that's when we induct our new inductees who are being honored. So it seemed reasonable that the DEMA show would be the time to do our major fundraising event when we had time to focus only on that. Plus, it's when there's just an amazing group of people gathering who support the cause that we're fighting for and who join in and come to our event and purchase some of the items that we're auctioning off, which of course goes toward the scholarship fund.
And each year our program grows, the applications grow, the word's getting out there.
I received a $1,000 scholarship from the Women Divers Hall of Fame. For the scholarship, I studied abroad in Turks and Caicos Island and first learned about lionfish. And it was there that I was a research assistant and started my own small research project on lionfish. So there was a lot of collecting and handling in the field and a lot of lab work back at the school. And I wet my feet there on South Caicos Island, but I ended up doing more research with the Reef Environmental Education Foundation in Key Largo, Florida. The Women Divers Hall of Fame scholarship was a catalyst. It was the first thing that got me started in my journey through marine science, and I'm very thankful to the organization for their help.
My mind is boggled by all the work that's getting done, and I turn around and in 2 years that I haven't looked at the scholarships we're offering twice as many. It's the most wonderful group of women that are working so hard to do everything they can to help other women do well in an industry that was a very male-oriented industry.
I went back to school for my master's degree, and that's when I really found out about Women Divers Hall of Fame and the opportunities that were there with all the scholarships. There's marine conservation, there's underwater archaeology, there's training grants, there's all of these things that are, it's just a simple application process that can lead to phenomenal relationships with women that you only read about in books, but are changing the way that science is viewed in diving or exploration of underwater caves. And it's an honor to be a part of something like that and to know that they welcome you with open arms, knowing that you're the next generation to come in and that they see potential in you.
So the Women Divers Hall of Fame is recognizing outstanding women, and it's giving back to the next generation. We have these amazing women who have accomplished things and opened doorways. And what I have found by working with them, their vision is to give back to the next generation. We do it through the scholarships, we do it through the mentoring, we do it through encouraging people to come and get involved, talking to people at the booths. It's sharing the story so people can realize what's possible. This group is recognizing outstanding women, continuing that path, but then helping to recognize and identify those that are coming up and giving them a leg up.
And we want all of the next generation to have even more opportunities than we did and make even more of a difference than we have tried to be. And that's the legacy that we, not the little tiny legacies that we leave in each of our own different areas, but the big overall legacy of that next generation. And maybe it's because we're mothers and we're women and we're nurturers and that kind of stuff, but it's our job to take care of that next generation in this manner. And it needs to be done, and that's what we're going to do.